All right, so we are going to talk about qualifying parties and bookings. I am going to start with talking about qualifying parties because I believe that if you're having qualifying parties, it's going to be a lot easier to get bookings. So they go hand in hand. But I'm going to start with qualifying parties because if we start there and we do quality parties, we're going to be more likely to get bookings and not be like reaching out and stretching. Because we're having good parties and people want to party with us. So I'm going to start there. So if you're on my team, some of this might be repetitive because I know I drill it home in the trainings. And if you interact with me more often on a daily basis, like some of you do, you probably have heard it more. But having qualifying parties starts with your host coaching. So everything you do before the party starts and the messages you're sending during the party all are going to be what gets you a good party. So I am a big, huge, firm believer in having a host coaching call, and my team knows that. If you want to know more about that, I'm not going to go into detail about the call because that could take a whole training. So talk to Brandy or I about that, but definitely do a call if you're not a week before the party. Getting their wish list is really big, and I'll talk more about kind of specific examples of why later on in the party or later on in this training. But you want to know, well, you don't even have to know, but you want them to know what they want. So getting their wish list is going to give you a motivated host who is going to want to do things for you. Another thing with having a qualifying party is you want your party to be fun, which means you need to be fun. Now, we all have different personalities. We know that, and we can honor all those different personalities. But you need to find a way to have fun. And virtual parties, you can do that. You're not up in front of people. You don't have to fake a personality. But the way you interact with your guests and what you say and the things you do with that, you want them to be fun. So I am actually going to I'm going to screen share if I can figure that out. Yes, I think I can. A party of mine, I'm going to show you if this is the right place. Somebody mute yourself. Ooh, who is that? Hold on. Okay, I think we got it. Sorry, I'm trying to mute everyone. So I'm going to go through one of my parties and just kind of talk about some of the things that I do and things that you can do to kind of set yourself apart or be like fun, I guess, so to speak. So this is just one of my parties. I do the same thing for my parties. But when you're doing your intro post, so I know a lot of people do this, but when you're doing your introduction post, you don't want it to be super long, but I want you to find things that are more unique to yourself. So when you're doing your introduction post, I do teacher, the fact that I'm a teacher, because then I will connect. If you just talk about being a mom and a wife, those are really broad categories and they're not very specific. And there's a lot of people that are moms and wives. So pick things that are kind of unique to you. What did you do? Did you do sports in high school? Find things that a guest might look at and say, oh, I was a teacher, or I'm a teacher, or my mom was a teacher, or whatever. I'm not a teacher now, but I mention that because I want to connect with teachers. So I do mention that I was married, or that I am married, I am married. But I mention my animals because I love animals. So I want to connect with people that have animals. So, I'd say a dog, a puppy, horses, mule, pony. And I end up connecting with a lot of people that have animals because I put that. So try to pick things. And then I have a huge heart for foster teens. So I want to connect with people that also, if they were foster parents or if you've ever fostered, or, these are things specific to me. So you're going to want to think things, I have a degree in nutrition, or, things that will be unique to you that a guest might be like, oh, I have a passion for nutrition too, and health and fitness, or I have a passion for that too, or I used to play piano too, or whatever. So find things that are unique to you when you're doing your introduction post. Kind of be a little bit more specific. I've seen some introduction posts that are pretty general and broad, and it doesn't give a whole lot of chance for people to connect with you in that way. So then when you're interacting with people, okay, so I love GIFs, and I actually just started doing this. I actually watched Danny on our team. She's a bomb seller, but she will post things to get bookings on her wall. And I was scrolling through, and she responds to like every single comment with like a GIF, and they're funny and they're easy and they're quick. And I'm like, I need to use GIFs more often. So I've actually been using GIFs more often, and it's brought a lot of this is hilarious. So let me show you the post first. So it allows me to respond to somebody without trying to think of, what to say. But it can still be funny. And then I can pick movies that I like or that were in my generation, or things that, I loved Sister Act and all those GIFs. But I just made this week. And I got this idea from conference. But so I did a roll call. Tell us how you know the host, but make it a lie. So stuff like that, like doing fun things when you're interacting with your guests. So these people were just hilarious, like worked together at Subway. So I just literally typed in Subway in the gift bar and put a GIF. CIA, I just did a GIF there. And then when you start to drop GIFs, people are like, ooh, I could just drop a GIF instead of saying something. So this person literally just put a GIF of this pole dancing, which I died and was like laughing out loud. So dropping GIFs also encourages other people to, without having to tell them, you need to drop a GIF. Or I don't even know if I'm saying that right. GIF, 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 whatever. Got into a fight, blah, blah, blah. So, you want to be fun, is key, and try to have fun as much as you can. Think of funny posts. Also, when you, when your people are, let me find something. When people are like commenting, probably more so up here. When people are commenting, and you want to create interaction. So ask a question. I say it's your turn. What does your family look like? Right? So ask a question at the end. I'm not just talking about myself. And then when people are in here and they're commenting, you want to try to comment and ask a question back to somebody. Oh, like, how old are your kids? Like, oh, how long have you been married, if they mention marriage? So ask questions to kind of keep the conversation going. Another thing I do, where is it? Oh, it's up here. Sorry. I wanted to show you guys something I've been trying is this. If you guys want to try this, I did this a while back, and it was in summer, and I don't know, I didn't love it, but I changed it up, and I tried it this time, and it's just a Sunday special that I did. And this time it used to go all the way till like Tuesday, and this one I actually changed it and just said tonight. Like, I posted it Sunday, and if I got it that day, that I would give them a free gift. So that's something you can do if you get 3. So the reason we pick the first 3 is because if you do 3, then you already have a qualifying party at the beginning of the party. And then your host is more relaxed. They're having more fun. They're feeling confident. So I had people on this one say, oh my gosh, I missed it. I missed this last night. And I'm like, well, too bad. So, and then that also gives them, your party isn't desperate. And if I post a special, you're going to want to get on it right away, because it's not going to last forever. So, that might also help them check in on the party more often. Then also comment on the host's posts also, as if you like these, like, I raise my hand, like, pretend you didn't tell them to post this. Like, obviously we all know I told them to post this. But I still comment. I drop a GIF where I'm raising my hand. When they do, When she posts about like your memory, this creating meals and memories, I post my memory in there. You know, you comment on what the post put or what the host is posting also. And then the other thing I would say is to be organized with your party. Like I pick daily themes, and I'm going to share a couple ideas from the director retreat this weekend. But he actually does this same thing where I have a daily theme. So this one was up here. So my daily theme for this day was new product day. The guy that did the training says what's new. It's the what's new day. But so I do a new product day, and then every post I give a title. So it looks like a recipe idea instead of a product post. So I don't say snack bar maker. I say snack idea time. So my party is organized. It's not just randomly posting. I'm posting with a purpose. All my titles say snack idea time, drink idea time, lunch idea time. Well, I guess that one doesn't, but those are pairing knives. They speak for themselves. By the way, pairing is not spelled with an I, just so you know. Figure that out last week. Yep, you guys are all freaking out now, and you're going to go back and change that on all of your posts. I see you laughing, Katie. I know. I posted it on my wall. Don't worry. I spelt it wrong the whole time. Drink idea time. Like literally, I'm putting, titles on my posts that are about them and not about the product. Oh, this is going to give me a dinner idea. This is going to give me a lunch idea. So be organized, have daily themes, post with a purpose. So I'm going to stop screen sharing right now. Oh gosh, I don't know how. Okay. I'm staring at somebody else's screen. How do I get back to speaker view? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to say is be flexible with your hosts. Do not be rigid. Do not be rude. Always be kind. Even if they're not doing anything. I have 3 parties this week. I'm doing the same thing in all of them. One host is doing like little to nothing, but I don't give up on that party. I keep going. So be kind, be flexible. For an example of that, I had a host last week who didn't want to host a party, but she ended up hosting one because I created desire for a product. So that's big. We're going to talk about that in bookings, creating desire for a product. But she changed her mind because she wanted the quick cooker. So, and she said, okay, I'll try it, but I'm not going to invite a bunch of people because I have a lot of friends that hate MLMs. So I said, that's totally fine. I didn't pressure her. I didn't tell her she had to invite 150. I just told her, look, usually I tell my hosts to invite 150 because they're too busy and they don't follow up with people. But since you're contacting people individually and you're doing that all up front, and she was doing a ton of like one-on-one, like she just individually reached out to people like a week before the party. And so all the people that she invited to the party, she had already reached out to individually and kind of got sure, I'll go to the party. So she didn't even invite 30 people. There was no door prize, but her party ended last week and it was a $1,300 party. So be flexible with your hosts. Okay. Trust them. But if they want to invite less people, you need to encourage them to do the one-on-one. Like that's fine. You can invite less people. Most of my hosts just don't have time to do the one-on-one interaction. So don't be rigid. Don't be rude. Always be understanding with your hosts. Be kind, be kind, be kind. I also don't extend the party publicly. I will always tell them like, hey, the host is putting in their order tomorrow. If you want to squeeze in your order and you had a crazy week, I will tell them that, but I don't extend publicly. I don't post it and say party extended, da, 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 because I want my party to look bomb no matter what. I want my party to look awesome. I don't want anybody that's in that party to know that it's a flop. So I also don't post thank yous until the very end. I used to post thank yous and like tag people throughout the party, but I don't do that anymore because then everybody knows how many people have ordered. And if one person has ordered, they're going to be like, well, only one person ordered in that party. I probably won't have a very good party. So I don't post thank yous till the very end. If it's not a very good party, I don't tag people in it. And I do one post at the very end, thanking people. And then I still get bookings off those parties that flopped because that person has no idea that the party flopped. So as far as not extending a party publicly, what I mean by that is I will extend it, but it is all me talking with the host. Like, look, I do, let me share my screen again. I do Saturday follow-up, Saturday morning. Shoot, now I have to try to, oh, here we go. On Saturday morning, I follow up with my hosts and, let me find here. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I follow up with my host Saturday morning and send them a message saying, this is what your party's at, who can you reach out to? And I ask them if they want, a day or two more to reach out, and it's up to them. So any extension is the host willing to put in some work to collect more orders. If they're not, we're not going to extend it. So I don't do let's extend in my party, because again, I don't want my guests to think, oh my gosh, they're desperate. They're grasping for straws. They're like trying to get this party to qualify, because then I'm less likely to get a booking. So all of this stuff talking about qualifying parties directly connects to bookings, directly, all of it. You want to have a good party, and even if it's not a good party, you want to fake it like it was. So you can still get bookings off all those people. The one host that I have right now that literally is like doing nothing. She's not commenting. She's not posting. I'm not getting mad at her. She's doing her thing. She put me in front of all of those people. So she invited like 150 people. And I'm there and I'm in front of them, and I'm going to make the best of that party. And I'm going to try to do that party and work it like I know how. Whether anybody's commenting or not, I don't care. She put me in front of 150 people. What am I going to do with that? Stop focusing on your host and focus on yourself. So don't worry about when the hosts don't do anything. You do what you can. You're in front of those people, make the best that you can, and don't let them know that it's a flop. You just have fun, even if you're partying by yourself. Just go drop gifts on all of your stuff. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people that will silently watch a party. So that party actually yesterday got like a $150 order on it. So heck, now it might qualify, and she's done literally nothing. So you never know. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Be you in your parties. Be you. Find your brand. They talked about that in conference. Be you. So I'm very passionate about people sharing their stories and encouraging people. So I interweave that kind of throughout my party. When I do the what do you love most about the host post, I talk about that. I say we don't encourage each other enough. I'm a big believer in encouraging people. So find you. You guys are all unique, and you have things that are unique about you, and your personality is different. Like, don't compare yourselves to everybody else and try to be somebody else, because then you're going to fail. You're going to fail at being somebody else, but you won't fail at being yourself. So be fun. Find a way to be fun in your parties, but be you. So find kind of your brand, I guess I call it, but, and be you. And then the last thing I would say as far as qualifying parties is, I say this to my people all the time when they're like, oh my gosh, nothing's happening, I don't have orders. Do not give up until Sunday. Don't give up on so I run my parties Monday through Friday. Host puts their order in Saturday and does follow up. So I don't give up on a party until Sunday. I had a party this last week that wasn't qualifying on Saturday. And I did my follow-up messages Saturday morning and said, this is what your party's at. Here's who said they wanted to order on the Google form. If you're not doing a Google form, you need to do one. Here's who said they're ordering on a Google form, but hasn't ordered yet. Do you have some more people that you could follow up with? And then they say yes or no, and they go follow up. And she went and followed up, and her party ended up at $520. So, and it wasn't qualifying on Saturday. So, do your follow-up Saturday morning, and do not give up on a party until Sunday. The other thing about that is you're still going to possibly be able to get bookings off of a party, even if it doesn't qualify. Even if you hit Sunday and it doesn't qualify, you still can get bookings. I have somebody on my team right now who's going for directorship, who I got from a flopped party. She signed. So I got a new recruit from a flopped party. So I don't really consider a party flop unless you get 0 bookings, 0 sales, and 0 recruits. then maybe you can think about calling it a flop. But if you had an accepted friend request, maybe not, because they could be a future host. So that's kind of my qualifying parties segment. Now I'm going to kind of talk more about bookings specifically, but all of it ties together, as I've already said. So, bookings, again, it starts with having a good party and getting those qualified parties. So I'm going to share with you a couple new ideas that I got from Steve at our training at the Director Retreat. And these are the things I'm most excited to share with. Steve has only been in the business 2 years. He's already an exec, which is like way up there with Kristen, same level as Kristen. And he does all virtuals, and he runs 8 parties a week. So he knows what he's doing, and the fact that he can book 8 parties a week and have a full calendar is pretty awesome. So I am going to screen share the first thing I'm going to tell you is with one of the things he does in his host coaching ahead of time in the party, before the party, is he invites his hosts. So he takes his host and he says, okay, I'm going to invite you to 2 parties. One is a good party and one is a bad party. And he invites them to 1 bad party and 1 good party in the past that he's had. And then he says, okay, what did you notice about the party? What did you notice about the bad one? And they say, well, nobody was commenting. The host wasn't interacting. Like, there was no interaction. The host didn't post very much, yada, yada, yada. You know where this is going, right? And then he says, okay, well, what about the good party? Like, what did you notice about that one? People were interacting. The host was asking questions. The host was commenting on every single post, all this stuff. So then he tells them, you have a choice. You can be a good host or a bad host, and it's going to directly impact your party. And he tells them that good party was a $700 party. That other one, it didn't qualify. And so they physically can see with their eyes what it looks like to be a good host before they ever start their party. I thought that was a pretty good idea. I haven't got to implement it yet because I just got back from that training. So, but that's an idea you can do with your hosts that I'm really excited about trying. But this next one I'm super excited about because you know what Steve does? He does 8 parties a week, and he does not book his own parties. You guys, he doesn't book his own parties. My mind was blown. He has his hosts do it for him. So in midweek in his party, he sends his host a message, and I'm going to show that to you. So I'm going to screen share right now. He sends his host a message. Right here is the message. I just copied it into my own message to myself. But he says, your party interaction is amazing so far. Great job, blah, blah, blah. So he gives them a challenge, and he says, I hope you accept it. So I'll send you guys these words. Actually, I don't even need to read through all of these. I'll send you these words he uses. But he essentially challenges them to find 5 people to think about who might want to host a party. And he essentially is challenging them to get 3 bookings. And if they get 3 bookings off of their party by the end of the week, like before their party closes. So he gives it like this deadline, which also gives them like a crunch time. That's why you want to do it. Like, I'm going to do this on my host coaching, I think for Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. We'll see. This week I'm going to do it Wednesday because I'm going to do it today. But he does this challenge with them midweek. So they have the next, 3 or 4 days to do those. But they have to get them booked before they close the party. So if they get 3 bookings, he puts a prize in their cart, like that's $5 worth. If they get all 5 bookings, he takes $10 off their order. And what he has them do is he has them think of 5 people, and he tells them to start a group message with him, the host, and 1 person. So 3-way group messages, but with 5 different people that they think might host a party. And so he gives them all the words to use. If they say, yes, I accept this challenge, like, yeah, let's do it. And they accept the challenge, then that host will start those 5 group messages. And he said, and then here's the words to do, copy and paste this, and then he takes it over from there. And then he connects with those people. But then that way it's a group message. It's 5 people that the host has picked out specifically. And the host has a chance to connect with that person, and get a free gift. So, and get the half off item. It was funny too. He was like, and I'm going to give the host a half off price or a half off item at your party. And he's like, they don't have to know that that half off item comes from Pampered Chef. He's like, oh no, that half off item comes from me. They think it's coming out of my pocket. That's like interesting point of view. But so yeah, so he gets his bookings that way. So he doesn't have to message everybody and all that. But I'm going to try that, and I'm going to implement that this week. And hopefully, I know Wesley did it last week with her hosts. Even at the end of the week, she just quick did it, and already had gotten like 3 bookings by the end of the day from her hosts that week. So I'm going to start trying that. So there's an idea for you to try to get your host to book the parties. If my hosts don't book the parties, I'm still going to send those messages at the end of every party. So then the other things are kind of just smaller things. We have about 15 minutes left, and I kind of want to give you guys a chance for questions, but we might run out of time. Is when you're booking parties, you guys need to fill your calendar. You need to front load your calendar. So with mine, I book, let me find November. So I start, you can see, I start at the top up here. So I have a goal of doing 4 parties a week, you know, to each their own, whatever your goal is. And I take these sticky tabs and I put them in ahead of time. I say I want 4 a week. I put them in there even if they're blank. Okay. So if you can see right here, I don't have these ones filled out, but I have these ones filled out. So this is November, and I have 4 parties there, and I just filled this next one yesterday. So you need to stop doing this like, oh, I have one party December 1st. I mean, every now and then people will request that, but I always just offer the 2 dates, and I offer the first ones I have. If I want to like just book this week, I'll be like, I have the week of October 29th available. Does that work for you? I won't even give them 2 options, especially with online parties. You need to front load your calendar and just fill it. And then you can use those parties to get bookings to fill the rest. So you need to front load. If you get it spread out all over the place, you're not going to fill your calendar. So when you're offering dates, if you just have to offer one, offer one. Do what you need to. Overcome booking objections. If people are saying no, or they give you like a time thing, I always usually say something, especially time. Time is always like the biggest one. And I say, you know, I try to make my parties as easy as I can on my hosts. You know, 5 to 10 minutes a day is all it takes. And I do all the work for you. You know, I'm totally willing to give it a shot if you are, or something. I don't push too much, but I do let them know, like, I do try to make it as easy as I can, and it's only 5 to 10 minutes a day. So I do let them know that, because most people don't know that. And then they, once they realize that, they're like, oh, that's not that bad. And even if they don't book then, they're more likely to book in the future. So definitely overcome those booking objections. Don't just, if you just say, okay, when somebody says no, you're not going to get very many bookings. If you need help with words, message your director, message your upline, message somebody else in the business. In this business, you can look at people that, okay, this person's good at this person's good at this. Pick their brain. Doesn't always have to be your director. Doesn't always have to be your upline. You know, if you notice like, oh my gosh, Katie's sales are like rocking it. Like, what is she doing? Message her and ask. Okay. That's the awesome thing about this business. We all have strengths and weaknesses. And so pick people's brains that have the strengths that you want. So doesn't always just have to be us, because you probably hear the same thing from us a lot. So reach out to other people too. As far as getting bookings and posting on your wall, here's what I'm going to tell you about that. And I should have asked Katie to talk about this, because she's really good at this. But, one thing before I talk about that. When you fill your calendar, you need to maintain that momentum. It is really, really hard to like take a break. You know, if you take a week off, like I'm intentionally taking next week off, but it's really hard to take a break from the business and try to come back. So once you get your calendar where it is, don't stop that momentum. You need to keep messaging those guests. You need to keep reaching out for bookings on the ones that you're doing, because what you'll do is you'll get here and you'll be like, oh yeah, my next 2 weeks are full. That's awesome. And you'll keep going, and you'll get here and you're like, crud, I don't have anything. And whoops, I haven't followed up with any of these people from the last 2 weeks. Okay. Get in a routine where you say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to send booking messages for all my past guests or whatever it is. Get into a routine that you're doing something to get bookings every single week, whether that's once a week, 5 days a week, 3 days a week. Get into a system and a routine. So as far as posting on your wall, you do not want to post on your wall, check out this host special. Who wants to host? Not going to work. Okay. Rarely will it ever work. You want to create desire for the product that is the host special. So this month we have a stainless skillet, we have a quick cooker, and we have the rock crocs. So you want to make something in your quick cooker, make something in your rock crock, post a picture of it, go live if you're bold enough, but you don't even have to do that. Katie does an awesome job of just making stuff, and she posts these beautiful pictures of food, and people are commenting. So I think she did one with, was it the cooling racks that you were messaging me about? I think Katie did. No? Hold on. What was it?
Oh, that was Teal that did the cooling racks.
Oh, Teal did. Okay, yeah, Teal, which, I mean, Teal is learning from Katie too, so she probably got that idea from Katie as well. But yeah, Teal is on Katie's team, and they post pictures of this food, but Teal posted pictures of these cooling racks and had people asking, where do I get those, right? So you definitely want to use the product and post pictures of it, but don't put anything about the business. Post an awesome picture of your really yummy food that you just made in it. So you want to create desire for a product. That's how I got Mary, my $1,300 virtual last week, to host a party. She's like, no, I don't do parties. Like, it wasn't even a follow-up. It was a hard no. Like, nope, she doesn't follow up. She did, like, there's nothing. But she saw my post about the 60% off coupon. And I do rarely do those. So that was kind of one that was like, which would you pick for 60% off? Because those have worked for me in the past. But that's giving them a specific product. Like, which one would you pick? And then I'm doing a giveaway. So she had picked the quick cooker. And so then when I messaged her and I said, you can get, this is how much it costs regularly, $240, and you can get it for $96. Don't say you can get it for 60% off, because it goes in one ear and out the other. You want to give them specific numbers with any product, with any desire you're creating. So you want to give them that desire. So then when I messaged her and said, you can get it for $96, regularly $240, like you only need $200 in orders, that's when she said, okay, we can try it. And then she had a $1,300 virtual. So that is an example. I said I would talk about this later. That is an example of why you want their wish list right there. Because if they know what they want, they're going to be an awesome host, because they have their eye on a goal of something that they want. So you want to create desire for that product, but you can't do it and just like, here's the product, it's 60% off. Make something in it. Okay. Go live. That is ideal. If you can go live and be like, I'm making dinner in my quick cooker. Check this out. Like, this is all I did. I pushed start. And, even if it's a short 2-minute video, you want it to be short, really. And then post a picture in the comments later of how it turned out or something. So create desire. The last thing I'm going to say about getting bookings, and Brandy is really good at this, so you can pick her brain. And everything I'm going to share right now is from Brandy. So thank you. Is customer care. So with customer care, and Brandy taught me this, is to print out these little show summaries. I'm doing this now, Brandy. I'm behind right now. I need to catch up. But you print out the show summary after you close a show, where it gives you a list of everybody that ordered, and send them a message saying like, hey, this is Emmy, I just want to let you know, when you get your stuff, you have 30-day money back guarantee, whatever it is you want to say. You send them a message before they get their products, like right after they ordered, thanking them. You send it 2 weeks later after they've probably got their products, and ask them how they're liking their products. And then you can usually follow up 2 months after. I'm really bad. I'll be honest. I'm really bad about the 2 month after follow up. So, but I just keep track on here. I put next to their name, I put a 1, like, okay, I did my first message to all those people, and I'll put little notes next to it, like already had a party in July. I put a note next to that. I put a note next to, I can't remember what I was just about to say, but I put a note if they're like a hard no, like, no, I don't ever want to have a party. I put a note like somebody said, I love it all. I love all my stuff. I put a note next to that because I'm like, ooh, she really likes all that. Maybe she'll hope, but she was the host. So maybe I can follow up with her later. So customer care, and I use something called text replacement. So I'm going to show you guys if I do, this is my friend. I'm going to send her one. If I type in, you're not going to be able to see my screen, are you? Probably not. If I type in CC1, so I just typed in CC1, and then I'm going to just hit space. My whole first customer care message pops up. That's under settings of your phone, and it's called text replacement. So I literally just do CC1 space, and my whole first customer care message pops up. So I'm not like typing that out every time. And my first one says, hey, this is Emmy with Pampered Chef from Blank's Party. Thank you so much for your order. I wanted to reach out so you have my contact info if you have any questions or issues with your order when it arrives. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please feel free to add me in your phone as Pampered Chef Emmy. So if you have any issues, you have my contact. And customer care, I do through texting. I do it with a phone instead of on Messenger. So that way they get a text from my phone. Then they say, oh yeah, if I have any issues, I want to be able to contact her if something's wrong with my order. And then they click save me in their phone. Well, then hopefully I'm their consultant from then on. So that customer care isn't always an immediate booking, but it is that relationship that you're building that's going to create lifelong customers, that's going to create consistent customers that are going to come back to you. I'm at the point in my business now where people are coming back and saying, hey, I want to place an order. Do you have a party I can place it on? And that's what you want. You want that relationship where you're their consultant. And in the virtual world, it's not like that unless you do something to make it like that. So they're just going to have a party with whoever is their friend or whatever. And they're not going to have a consultant, unless somebody has like a best friend. I get that sometimes. But so you want to make that relationship so you're their consultant. And if your phone number is in their phone that says Pampered Chef Emmy, and it starts with Pampered Chef, so anytime they need anything Pampered Chef related, they can search for you pretty easily. So I know that was like super fast and a lot, and I knew it would be, but I wanted to honor your guys' time and try to keep it under that 45 minutes. But does anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? I don't like that I can't see you all. Oh, there we go. I'm going to give you guys a second to think if you have questions. TL, what's up?
I have
yourself.
So that form that you showed, it was super digitally. The last one, I guess it was a follow-up or customer care. Is there a way that you could share that with us?
Yeah, hold on. Let me screen share real quick because it's just your show summaries. So
okay.
If you go to Consultant Corner. Oh, it's going to make me log in now. And you sign in. It's just your show summary is all I print out. And I got that from Miss Brandy. So let me see. So if I do orders, so if you go to the party and you hit orders, this is what I print. Which this is what pops up. This is what I was showing you. This is what pops up after you close out a party. So, and then right here next to their name, I write a 1. If I sent that first message, I write a 1 next to their name. And then when I do the second one, I write a 2. So it was just the show summary.
Okay, cool.
It wasn't a special form. I just print their show summary. Also, the other thing that Steve told us, if you don't know where, oh gosh, this thing is in my way. I don't know how to make it go away. Darn it. If you don't know where marketing and imagery is, I can't get this to move. Go to marketing and imagery, go to, there we go. It went. Okay. Marketing and imagery, go to party themes to virtual. And if you go to the party packs at the end of a party pack, Quick Fix Meals is where I'm at right now. It will have exclusive content. And what Steve does, so this says exclusive content right there, so you can click on it and there's a bunch of different things. But it has these recipe ebooks. And he says if people don't order and they want a prize, he sends them an ebook. So if you, Katie, I know that you are like, how can I do this easier? If you want to send them an ebook for free if they didn't order and they want a prize, that's an idea you could do.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ebooks. This is like specifically for the Rock Crock, you know, and it has different recipes, and it also has a grocery list and meal planning template at the end. And there's your grocery list. So, I mean, they're cool little recipe books that they can try. And there's a grill pan one. There's like a ice cream one. Anyways, so if you guys have not done the party packs in order to access those, you need to. But yes, that was another idea I got from him. I'm like, oh, I don't have to send prizes in the mail. That would be awesome. Any other questions? Oh, look at your kiddo. Hi. No? Okay. Well, if you think of them, feel free to message me. I know I went fast. I kind of typed an outline. If anybody like wants it, you know, kind of just the bullet points of what I went over, I can send that too. I mean, it doesn't go into detail, but if it jogs your memory, let me know. Brandy, did you have anything to add? Miss Deer, I should have had you do the customer care portion. Do you have anything to add about customer care?
I don't think so. I will share with you, and most of you guys know, I have a working binder, and I keep all of those customer care sheets in my binder so that in the back of it with tabs from 1 to 12, and then I stick each month in there. So then when I'm looking for bookings, I can go back. So, you know, say we just came out with a new catalog, I could go to January's bookings and be like, hey, we just came out with a brand new catalog. If you're like that desperate for bookings, you can go back to people from the beginning of the year who are super excited about a new catalog and see if they'd be interested in booking. And you can always go back, or it's a good way to track people, like hosts, when their expiration date is coming for the 10% discount.
Yes.
You can go back and be like, okay, well, I need to follow up with these people because they're my hosts and their discount is about to expire, and see if they want to rebook. So,
and the other time you can follow up is right before their 6th month, because they can get their own future party pick. So if you have somebody that, you know, booked a party 5 months ago and they book another party within 6 months, they can get their own future party pick. So they actually get an extra half off item. So I've actually gone back and, you know, followed up at the 6 month mark and then also at the 12 month mark. And a lot of people, you know, I've talked to my consultants sometimes and they're like, oh, like rebooking. You totally can rebook. I have a host that had a party in March. She's going to have another one at the end of November, and then she's going to have another one next spring. She wants to do Cinco de Mayo. So like there's people that want to book several parties. So don't discount that for sure. All right. I'm sure you guys have like a million things to go off and run off to. So I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here and listen. And okay, it says recording. I'm like, oh, geez, what if I didn't hit record? So have a good day, you guys. And feel free to message Brandy or I, or with questions if you come up with them later, because I know how it can be hard to think of the questions and then you think of them later. As soon as I hit end meeting, you're going to think of some. All right. Bye, ladies.